wish you had someone to tell you the truth about what it takes to run a successful business and live a fulfilling life? Well, amiguita, you've come to the right place. So grab your favorite cafecito or cocktail, your courage, and let's get to work. I'm Janessa Borges, a therapist, business strategist, mindset coach for entrepreneurs, and a feisty Latina from Miami. And I'm determined to teach you the exact tools you need to stop settling and start kicking some serious derriere. What do you say? Are you in? Then let's get started. Welcome to the Success Mindset for Entrepreneurs podcast. From the mouth of babes. In case you don't know, I am a mom to two miracle babies, I call them. They are a year and a half apart. I always like to view the world from their eyes and from their thought process. We're at a stage where we are at 5.5 years old and 7 years old, and follow me, this has a point. Yesterday, we ended up going to Macy's. My son finds some Pokemon cards. He wants them. We get them. Fine. Well, the kids are obsessed. And both last night and this morning on the ride to school, they were so excited because, this is the important part, because they said, "Mama, I have a card that is ultra rare." In business, you want to be ultra rare, whether it's the ICA that you have, the niche that you're attached to, the service that you offer, the way that you present, whether you host retreats, have a podcast, have a course, host sessions, sell a product, whatever it is, you want to be ultra rare. And this is so important because so many, and including myself when I started off, and it took me a long time to get to this place, so many people want to help everybody. And they have this vision of just like reaching the entire world or reaching every single person where they live. And that is a beautiful goal. That's my goal. Just so we're very clear, that is my goal. Like, I want to reach people internationally. I can feel that. I can feel that pain and that urgency and that passion. But what I will tell you is a 5.5-year-old has innately the value of wanting something that is super ultra rare. How? They're cards. They are physical cards that were invented, right, with characters that don't even exist. But a 5.5-year-old sees the shiny little packet, opens it up, and appreciates all the cards, right? You can appreciate all the businesses, but in there was one card that somehow was identified as a quote unquote super ultra rare card. I want you to listen to this, and I want you to think about, how can you be super ultra rare in what you're doing? How can you show up and be super ultra rare to the customers you want to serve? This is about standing apart from the competition. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And if you're not familiar with ICA and niche, I will make sure to come back and talk about this. They're marketing terms, and it is ideal client avatar. And I chuckled for a second because some people have now changed it to ideal community, which is fine. What it means is that you think about one person. I still like the ideal client avatar personally. You choose one person to talk to. You think of one person that is your ideal client, your dream client, the person that you're passionate about, the person that you want to reach, the person that if you can have a room full of clients, that's who you would duplicate. And that's who you would want to buy your stuff. And here's the hesitation everybody has. People feel that if they choose only one person, or they only identify with one gender or one culture, that then they lose out. But let me explain something to you, okay? I work with entrepreneurs. It took me a really, really, really long time to go from, and I'll walk you through my process. At first I said, I want to help entrepreneurs. Okay, way too general. Okay, fine. I'll help female entrepreneurs. Okay. I will help female Latina entrepreneurs. Okay. Still wasn't, it's so many. There's so many. And people are scared that when they niche down, when they're too specific, when they funnel down, when they choose this one ideal person in their mind, that they're going to miss out. And I have something to tell you. You are not going to miss out. You are going to end up being the super ultra rare in the stack of everything else that there is. I go from helping, right, we're walking through this process. And then I said, well, what do I really know? I'm a therapist. I'm a woman. I'm a first-gen Latina. And this is this conversation I'm having. No, I still don't want to do that. Like, I'm not traditional. Most therapists are really traditional. I'm clinical and I'm good at what I do, but my personality is so different. Like, I'm appropriate, but I just don't feel like stuffy or super formal. Like, that's just not my style. But guess what? It is what I know. I know how to grow a business, but more specifically, I know how to grow a therapy practice. So then I said, okay, so I will work with therapists. We go back to the same space, right? Then I will work with female therapists. Okay, getting better. Then I will work with Latina therapists. And this is like really fairly new. Okay, it feels a little scary, but there's lots of Latina female therapists in the world. Fantastic. Then I said, you know what? What stops me mentally, right, internally, from choosing somebody who is like me, a first generation Latina therapist? And that sounds and feels so good. And I apologize if anybody's insulted right now because I want to clarify. This does not mean that I only help first generation Latina therapists. This means that when I sit down to create my program, when I sit down to create my coursework, when I sit down to create an email, when I think about and dream about podcast episodes, when I go down and think about the colors I want to use or the Instagram posts, I think of that one individual that is in my heart and I literally write to her. Like, I think of her and I start off saying, Dear Raquel, espero que estés bien. Saludos. And then I transition into my Spanglish because that's the generation that I'm in. I hope you're having an amazing week. I wanted to let you know, I know how hard your days are. I know how long it is. I know the barriers you're trying to break. But guess what, amiguita? Today is the day that you take the step for you. Today is the day that you put everybody else behind you and you move forward. Listen to that email versus an email that says, hey everyone, I just wanted to check in and I hope that you're having a good day. And I know that it's hard doing what we do, but you're going to have a good day and I'm thinking of you. Which one sounds more personal? Which one? The first one, right? Does that mean that anybody else that I email that to won't feel personalized? No, al contrario, right? I don't know how to translate that, right? Which is part of my situation. On the contrary, right? That person will feel seen and heard, and somebody's going to identify with something. Even if they're not Latina or they're not first generation, they're going to identify with being really tired or with having a really long day. And maybe they'll like the fact that I use the Spanish word because they know I'm Spanish and they won't take it personally. The more personalized you can make your content, the more personalized, the more niched you are in your business, the more success you will have. And I've seen this over and over and over and over again. And when I see businesses that are struggling and drowning and closing, my heart breaks. But I go back down and I look through the process and they do not have a clear ICA. They do not have a clear niche. So my message for you today is if you want to reach everyone, start thinking about the one person you want to help first. How about that? Let's take a different perspective. Who do you want to help first? I know you want to help whoever will show up. That's great. But if you don't talk to one person specifically, you're never going to connect. You don't say, hey, everybody, happy Wednesday. You say, hi, so-and-so. Hi, Raquel. Hi, how are you today? How are you? Not how are you guys? When you're doing Instagram posts, when you're doing reels, when you're sharing on Facebook, when you're preparing your email, when you're doing your Psychology Today profile or your professional profile or your website about you section, think of the colors that are attracting, your ideal client. And I'll give you perfect examples. I, in my practice, work with women and couples. There's more specific things, but women empowerment, self-empowerment, like it's very specific and it's very long. But one of the things that I did thinking of my ICA is I ordered one year these really beautiful white clean pens, and inside the little like tubing it had little diamonds and it had a little rubber tip at the end so you can like touch your phone, right? I'm thinking like a woman, a girl, whatever, somebody who likes things that are a little flashy but still usable. I wanted to be shareable. I did this and I remember my husband saying, "Oh, that is so girly. Nobody's going to want to hold that. There's no man who's going to want that." And you know what? I said, good, because I'm not making these for men. I'm making these for my clients in my mind that are ideal, and they're women. And they want to carry these pens because they want something they can write with that looks kind of cute and that they'll find. And I want them because I want other people to want to take them and keep them because then I will be spreading the word about my practice. So I'm glad that you don't like them because you are not my people. point number one. Point number two, there was another time where I was preparing my coaching website. It is a very different feel. We used a lot of blushes and a lot of pinks and a lot of images with women, and it was softer and it was more, again, pointed toward women, and the language was for women. And again, my husband goes, oh, that is way too girly. That is way too women. You're going to repel men. And I said, good, because when you're doing something right, and I want you to hear this and come back to me if I've lost you. When you are doing your marketing and business correct, you, my friend, your goal is to repel the wrong people. Because only by repelling the wrong people will you attract the good people. And the good people, I mean by the people that you want to work with. So keep repelling. Repelling is good. When you repel, when someone doesn't like you, that means you're doing something right. Because that means that you're creating a fan base of loyal listeners or followers or people that love your product or your service, and they love your quirkiness, and they love the way you talk, and they love whatever it is that your style is. They know and like and trust you. And that is your goal at the end of the day, for people to know and like and trust you. Because at the end of the day, yes, there are other therapists, or there are other products, or there are other businesses, but there is only one you. There's only one way that you show up. There's only one way that you feel. There's only one way that you exert passion. There's only one style. There's nobody. There's absolutely nobody. Even if you're a twin, there's nobody who is a completely like you. There is not a carbon copy in personality like you. You can have twins in a room with completely different personalities, with completely different styles, with completely different language, interests, everything. So there is only one you, and that is my message today. There is only one super rare you. And I want you to tap into that super ultra rare you that is in the stack of the Pokemon cards that we started talking about in the beginning of today. And I want you to harness that. There's only one you, and there are people that are waiting for you. So I need you to really get down and push back all of that uncomfortable feeling. And remember, you are not going to post somewhere like, I only help these people. No, I help therapists grow 6-figure, full-paying private practices without stress. In there, am I saying I don't help men or I only help Latinas? No. That is what I internally know when I'm preparing my preparation, my courses, my master classes, my coaching, my website, my post. That's for me. Once you are clear and you move past the fear of not working or of not reaching who you want to reach, you will grow in so many ways. Think about this. I want you to go ahead and I want you to go through and I want you to think about this ideal person you want to work with. Maybe it's somebody you've already encountered. Maybe it's you or an older version of you. Maybe it's somebody you've dreamt up, whatever it is. And again, you are not shouting out to the world, this is who I help. Everything that you decide is going to be based on how you feel that that person feels, thinks, needs, pain points, wants to grow. This is a must-do activity for you. Promise me that you'll do that. And I want you to reach out and let me know who that is. So feel free to email me at janessamborges@gmail.com. And you know what's more? Put it under this episode. I want to hear from you what you've done and how much this episode has moved you or jolted you to think in a different way. Until next time, bye.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I am so excited you tuned in. The best way to find out the second a new episode is released and receive all the valuable tools and actionable steps I share is to subscribe to the podcast, so make sure you do that. Sending you so much love until next time. Bye.